Hey, what is going on, everybody? Boilon here, back for another video on Raid Shadow Legends, and I hope you guys are having a great weekend. And in today's video, we're here to talk about Titus Blackflame. Yet again, we are still kind of knee-deep in his fusion event beat, but we are rounding the bend on it, and we'll be finishing pretty soon. But I want to talk about how insane that this guy is, and also the kind of FOMO that PLARIUM is producing by making his red stars, his souls, only available through the champion chase tournament. Please correct me in the comments down below, but as far as I am aware, is that this may not become available in any other way. And so that kind of brings into question. Now, apparently he's really, really good, even without, like, borderline broken, even without the red stars. But that is still something that I would love to have. And I don't know if I'm going to get a chance to be able to get any. We're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about him. We're going to talk about his events left over and a recap for this weekend. But before we get started, I do want to remind people that if you haven't started playing Raid yet, what are you waiting for? Get out from under that rock and download using the QR code in the top right hand of the screen or in the link in the description down below to get yourself Karato Fox Hunter for free, a great legendary, and 3 amazing epics: Ugo, Lady Annabelle, and Fane at account level 10, 20, and 30. And that's not all, because if you use the promo code Demon Slayer within the first 48 hours of a brand new account, you will get yourself Tholen Foulbeard for free. He was the last Fusion champion and absolutely amazing, if you ask me. So let's get started with the video. Let's talk about what events are left over. So right now, we're kind of over here, right? Like, so we just, actually, we're over here on Saturday for the weekend, right? So we have Classic Arena. This just started as I'm recording here. We have Dungeon Divers, which also just started this morning, and then we have a gear enhancement that's coming up tomorrow, and then Fire Night tournament as well that is starting tomorrow. And we should be finishing up this. We also have Spider kind of started like a day and a half ago, and so I just finished up my Spider tournament. So as far as where I'm at for my fragment summons, my fusions here, right? Like I have 3 of the Goms, and I have about 25 shards, so I need 75 shards to finish this up. I did do the summon rush, right? So I was able to skip a bit of this. Let's talk about the champion chase tournament. I was actually able to clear this. The points for Gom was quite low. I was actually able to clear that just by summoning other copies of Gom, and I think one other character. I had Grakos, right? Grakos Turndrake. I had him sitting in the wing. So I was able to do those, and that got me for Gom. But as far as his so I don't even care about the 5, but it seems that there's no other way. Unless they're going to pull a Hero's Path event that's going to come later on or something like that. There it doesn't appear to be ways to get even like a 3 red or a 4, whatever, right? Different red stars that are not 5 for Titus. And again, please correct me in the comments down below if I'm wrong and we just don't know. I really hope that there is something that's going to be coming, because this character is just pretty busted, and I'm looking forward to getting more. I'm looking forward to using him in Clan Boss, right? And so we do need to talk about his kit a little bit more again. And he's a Void champion, right? So that makes him just really, really good. But as far as his kit goes, I want to start with this passive for Lord and Land. So each time an enemy hits an ally, that ally's next attack will deal 10% more damage for each hit they take, up to 100%. Now, when you're doing something like Demon Lord and Chimera, this is this is pretty much only going to be like 10% more damage for the rest of your team, because it's very unlikely that they're taking 2 turns before you take 1. I don't see many instances where that's the case. But where this could stack up, and 10% is nothing to scoff at. It is a pretty decent amount of damage. Just like almost like a permanent 10% more damage is pretty nice. But where this is going to really shine is going to be in places like Arena, places like wave combat, but also specifically in Hydra. So Hydra, there's multiple heads, right? And they are taking multiple turns, and there's a good chance that one of your allies or many are going to be taking more than 1 hit. And so that could stack up to a lot more than that. And it's just flat damage, which is great, right? So it doesn't matter what they scale with as far as their damage goes. So I really do like this passive. I'm going to go a little bit backwards because his buffs are pretty good, right? Ally protection, 50% attack, and speed on a single ally. Now, this is kind of annoying when you think about it, but it does fill turn meter by 40%. So I don't know who the AI tends to target with this, but it does say instantly activate this skill at the end of an ally's turn if that ally has no buffs and their HP is lower than 100%. So if there are multiple, you're right. So the problem is only with this is that it almost makes it seem, and I think I commented on this before, that if you really want to activate this well, that you would need to basically not run anyone else, and only nobody else that does buffs, and kind of rely on this with Titus, which is really difficult though because shields count as buffs, and we need to talk about that with his A2 Student of War. Now this is on a cooldown of 3 if you get the books in, but attack one enemy. This attack is always critical if this champion is under a shield buff. This part is huge, which means that you really need to kind of build a team around Titus with having a shield. That way you actually don't really need to have a high critical rate because you're always going to have that, right? This attack also gains a damage boost equal to the value of the shield. So if you have a big shield kind of character, this is going to be significant for Titus. I have heard and seen video clips of him swinging for like 5-6 million damage on this, which is pretty bonkers when you think about this. It also removes all debuffs from all allies. If you happen to kill a target, this probably is not happening in places like Hydra unless you just blow open a head, right? And then the head's dead. If the target survives, place a provoke debuff on all enemies for 1 turn instead. And this is pretty important, again, for things like the head. I want to say it's the Head of Decay, right? The one that you can provoke. This effect cannot be resisted if this champion is under a shield buff. So again, accuracy doesn't really matter if you're just prioritizing him in like some sort of crit damage kind of build, right? Crit chance doesn't matter because it's always critical, and accuracy doesn't matter either as long as you're under a shield buff, right? So making sure that you have this is going to be pretty important. And you could also use this maybe with like a bolster set at the beginning, like for one of your other characters, to make sure that he always has basically an unclearable shield at the start of the match. So that would be really nice too. And his A1, which does do block active skill. So if you are wanting to do this, but again, the same thing, right? This effect cannot be resisted if he's under a shield buff. So as long as you're under a shield buff, Titus doesn't actually need accuracy, which is really, really nice. Whenever an ally counterattacks, teams up with allies to block, instantly activate the skill and a 40% chance. And again, if there's multiple champions on the team, so this is really, really nice. Now, for this part, you do need to have accuracy, but I mean, unless this actually, no, I think it's probably when he just uses the skill himself, right? So again, you can build this guy purely in defense, speed, and crit damage, and then basically just say screw, get some crit damage gloves and be able to see this guy's numbers just skyrocket. That's something that I'm really curious about building for him. I am very looking forward to using him. And maybe you don't actually need the red stars all that much. It would be the icing on the cake. I do feel kind of, it sucks though, I think, that I would like to get red stars for him, and it just doesn't seem like we're going to be getting that. But I do want to talk about just, how insane he's going to be for a Hydra roster. That being said, I mean, results will vary. And I think the biggest problem with my roster, anyways, I want to talk about this a little bit. I don't actually have a lot of characters, a lot of good characters that do put shields down. Okay. And ones that do AoE shields, even less. The two that I could use that I might need to spend more time with would be Tagor. So he does do shields, but this is like on his revive skill. But I do have a character called Branch Breaker, and I know a lot of people don't like this guy, but on a cooldown of 3, if I do put the legendary books into him and I land it on the ultimate, on the A3 there, that it does do a shield buff proportional to this character's defense. So this is quite good, right? If I have high defense, this could be a decent amount as well. And so that'll be there too. But yeah, I really would like to have something like Tagor, but I just don't have any really amazing characters. This Quargon the Crowned, he's actually not too bad. His shield here is a 15% of his max HP on all allies, so I can get this up to, I think, 30% of his max HP. So this character might be really good, and actually maybe it's just worth building for me as well because I need some more shield characters. I need some more Lizardman characters. One of the best characters, though, if you have him available to you, that's going to be absolutely amazing as an enabler for Titus, is going to be Vault Keeper Wixwell. Now, I wish that I had this guy. He is absolutely bonkers in all clan boss related stuff. Everybody loves this guy. I don't have him. but his shields are absolutely crazy. You know, on a cooldown of 3, defense up, and then a shield buff on all allies for 2 turns, and it's proportional to his defense, which is he's just basically stacking, and he's got provoke as well, an amazing Hydra champion here. Boy, and so there are probably other characters that could do this for you depending on your roster, but that's the thing. He does not produce barrier or shields on his own. I do have some characters like Rector Drath. I believe my Rector Drath is sitting in a bolster set, and you know, bolster has a protected ally shield for 3 turns to everybody. So this could be nice for the beginning, but it's not going to do me so much later on. And I don't think Strategos Islan, unfortunately, he just puts barrier shield up on himself, not on everyone else. So I actually do not have a lot of characters that can enable Titus right now. I need to really target some other characters that might be able to do it a little bit better, and that's kind of my hope as well. Again, going back to my roster and what I have, I don't know, guys. If you see something, let me know in the comments down below that I might want to consider building, but I'm just not seeing anything that's really, really good and worth bringing up for this, at least that it does like an AoE shield. That's something that I've always struggled with because I cannot actually do very well on Scarab King, right? Who needs this kind of stuff as well. But I'm super excited for getting Titus. I just maybe wish that there would be a better way to get red stars for him, because otherwise, once I get him unlocked, I'm going to have to chuck him into my wish list for Altar of Souls or just hope for the best on the Soul Merchant. The funny thing is, I actually saw a 1 red Titus in here before I knew what was going on with Champion Chase and all that, and I kind of regret not buying it because I wanted to at least get maybe like a 3, right? For the defense, that would be really nice. A 4 for the crit damage would be even better, but I don't know if that's going to happen for me or not. So a little bit of a shame there, but let me know what your guys' thoughts are and your progress on the Titus Blackflame fusion. We have a little bit left in terms of time. We only have maybe like well, pretty soon, right? It's going to be ending mid next week. But not that Hell Hades is, you know, the end all be all, but he you know, gives a 5 to Titus Blackflame. A lot of great stuff going on with this guy. So a lot of stuff, especially in Clan Boss, which is really, really important, right? I think Clan Boss progress is absolutely critical. So I am very curious to see what I'll be able to do to get out of him. I will need some legendary books, though, unfortunately. But I think, you know, I'm really excited. And also, we'll see what happens around the bend. I am getting a bit low on my gems, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to compete in the next fusion event or not. And so, you know, just to double check, you know, if you guys are doing this or not, keep in mind that the daily gem packs is some of the best offers that you could pick up if you're into a little bit of light spending. I might dip into the daily energy pack before next fusion event, but we'll actually have to take a look at that because I am running a little bit low unless they give me some better offers for some energy stuff. I don't see anything just yet. Otherwise, usually the daily energy pack is some of the best stuff that you can pick up. Anyways, that's going to be it for me for this weekend. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. Before we go, I do want to remind people that if you haven't started playing Raid yet, what are you waiting for? Get out from under that rock and download using that QR code in the top right or in the link in the description down below to get yourself Karato Fox Hunter, Legendary of the Shadowkin. Also, 3 amazing epics, Ugo, Lady Annabelle, and Thane at account level 10, 20, and 30. And also, if you use the promo code Demon Slayer, you'll get yourself Tholen Falbeard absolutely free. Great character there if you use it within the first 48 hours of a brand new account. So that's going to be it from me, everybody, and I'll see you guys on the next one. And if you like this video, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and you'll be greatly helping out the channel. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys on the next one.